Never thought an episode on Disney would revolve around pizza so much. Yeah, welcome to Amphibia's. This is episode 3A Hopluck. Um, oh man, this is an interesting episode for me because I knew where it was gonna kind of go in terms of the lesson because they open it up with this potluck competition that Hop Pop is trying to get himself in, that Hop Pop is doing. And what's funny about it is the twist that they have on it because you got the classic, oh, we lose every year, we're pretty much the worst. And then they're like, oh, losing isn't that bad, except when you're thrown into the shame cage. So you got that little, so like they show this cage that is hanging up on a tree branch, and it's just like many questions are formed from that. But Anne is, for the most part, doesn't want them to lose, but Hop Hop is trying to he's trying to make his own potluck, excuse me, potluck. He's trying to make his own potluck from the cookbook, which is basically old traditions and stuff. But Anne suggests that if they want to win, they should be trying something more creative, more exotic, and so she proposes that they make a pizza. And I mean, man, yeah, pizza. I mean, never really thought that would be a thing for this, but it makes sense in terms of Anne's character because she's a kid from the human world, so it makes sense that they would talk about pizza at least. So, um, they really just go with. Yeah, so pretty much the plan is for them to go and get the ingredients for pizza. So they have to get dough, tomatoes, cheese, and basil so they can create a pizza. And Sprig also they make a in my opinion, a really good joke about pineapple pizza because Sprig's like, I want pineapple. Oh, can we get pineapples too? And then Anne just grabs him by the throat, puts him up against the wall. It's like, never talk about pineapple on my pizza. I'm like, I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, if you're someone who likes pineapple on their pizza, that's fine. I just don't like it. I think the most bizarre thing I've had on a pizza is actually I don't even know at this point. I don't even know. Usually when it comes to pizza, I'm just either the cheese, pepperoni, or sausage guy. You really can't. Yeah. So, okay. So so they basically, for the most part, Polly and Sprig are on board to make the pizza with Anne, but Hop Hop is very consistent on trying to use the cookbook and like the old traditions and stuff. But so basically, that's kind of the clash. It's like new versus old, and at least I was kind of worried that Hop Pop was gonna try and like sabotage them somehow, so that way that they could go be like, oh no, what do we do now? Well, we got this, but they actually do something different. So it turns out getting dough, cheese, tomatoes, and basil aren't exactly an easy thing to get in Amphibia. Like the first thing they go for dough, and the Doman's like, I'll give you the dough if the boy marries my daughter. I'm like, and it's just, it's so creepy, and it's just the girl kind of has like a voodoo doll with Sprig, and she's just very, very creepy, and it's just like, It's so ridiculous, and she even makes a joke about, or she even tells Sprig, "You want to know when your death will be?" And then Sprig's like, "Nah, I'm good." And so, that's how they get the dough, and like, and just I mean, just the fact that Anne's so quick on on giving Sprig up. I mean, he sticks with them, but it's just the fact that now Sprig is engaged to this girl now. You know. So they get the dough, and then they have to get the cheese, and how they get the cheese is they have to rustle up this. I call it a worm cow bowl because it's a worm cow bowl slug, actually, kind of, the mixture of all those things. And so they do that, and the farmer gives them the cheese, so they got their cheese, and then they kind of gloss over how they get the basil, but they kind of do say like that was also pretty rough. But, and like I said before, Hot Pop is continuously saying like, well, maybe if we just did this, we go through if we just used the stuff from the cookbook, these are easy ingredients to find. And it's like, okay, no, we're good. We just need one more thing. We need tomatoes, and wouldn't you know it, tomatoes are out in an open field with piranha plants guarding them. And it's just like, yeah, that is very, very, very bad. And so they, I do like this line that Hot Pop has, like they're like Anne's very, very dedicated to trying to get tomatoes, but this is the where Sprig and Polly are kind of like, I think we should back out of this. And Anne's like, why? And then Hot Pop's like, well, I'll tell you why, because there's a difference between courage and stupidity. And they don't get into an argument per se. It's just Hot Pop just basically telling Anne just how it's kind of gone a little too far. And then while that's happening, the piranha plant eats them all. And then my favorite line in the episode is, like I said, with the girl with Sprig, that Sprig had, like, saying like, you want to know when you die? It's like your death will come as a surprise. And so the piranha then swallows the gang whole, and right as they swallow them whole, you just hear Sprig, my fiance was right. I don't know why. It just got a really big laugh out of me. I mean, they don't die. I mean, if they died here, that would be a very interesting twist on the show. But yeah, they don't die. They just fall into this plant, and they get themselves stuck at the tail end of the esophagus, so they're not falling into the stomach acid. But Anne's backpack with all the ingredients is nearing it. Like she's holding it while trying to keep the family from falling in. And I thought they were gonna do like you gotta do the moment where it's like she's forced to drop it just to save the family, but no, the ingredients actually do slip out of the bag. Like the ingredients do slip out of the bag, and like and it falls into the stomach acid. So yeah, so they just throw that out the window, and so yeah, of course, and then realizes the situation that they're in, and the fact that yeah, she should have been listening to Hot Pot, but Hot Pot at the same time is like saying, well, I just wanted to. I was just afraid of letting go of the old traditions and stuff, and of course that's kind of the lesson, is the idea of the ever-changing world, and trying to hold on to the old traditions while also dealing with the new traditions. And it's like, obviously the thing is you want to compromise with stuff, and so kind of what they do is Hop Pop is able to get him out because he goes through his book and he's like, oh yeah, tomatoes are best eaten when raw. This is a piranha plant made of tomatoes raw. So yeah, you can pretty much imagine what they did. They just eat their way out of the plants, and they defeat it, and they then little cool thing is the fact that they make a potluck, but they do add a new thing to it, or in this case, a slice of tomato. It's not even like, it's literally just, they just have the potluck, and then they put the tomato on top of it, and it's just, what? And so the mayor comes in, and like when they're at the contest, and he tastes all the different dishes, and he comes to them last, and he tastes it, and he's like, wow, this is actually amazing. You guys actually did something amazing. And then I knew where it was going, because the way he was saying it and the way it was kind of written, I'm like, he's not talking about the whole contest. He's just talking about them in general. Because, and yeah, it's like, they're like, does that mean, they're like, because the mayor's like, oh, this is amazing. And they're like, does that mean we win? And he's like, oh no, this is still terrible, but I'm just saying, like, this is amazing compared to the other dishes you've had. And it's like, you still get last place, but it's like, you did better than we expected. And so I love moments like that, where it's like, you think you're gonna get a happy moment, but then they just immediately kill it with the, and it's funny, and it's so so they end up in the Shane cage. I was wondering why Anne at first was like, is there room for one more in there? I'm like, wouldn't she automatically be joining them in that thing? Like, why did they have that moment? I mean, maybe they were just continuing to establish her with the family and stuff, but, or maybe they just needed a few extra seconds for runtime. I don't know. And so they're up in the cage, and at first it seems very peaceful, but then the crowd starts throwing shame nuggets at them. And it's like, all right, yeah, there's a catch to it. I didn't even think about that. I mean, mainly because I'm like, spending the night up in a cage, up in a tree, isn't that already punishing? Isn't that already a suitable punishment? It's like, no, but you apparently also have to be thrown. You have to be shame nuggets thrown at you, and I'm like, all of this, if you made a potluck that was the worst at the contest, this town is effed up. And so, and then also, my second favorite line is in this episode is when, like, Hop Hop is trying to say something, but then all of a sudden, like, a Shane Nugget gets hit in the face with a Shane Nugget, and then he spits this out so fast, I had to rewind and, like, put on the subtitles just to see what exactly he said, because I thought the first time he just said a bunch of gibberish, but I checked it back at the same time, and he said, son of a slug. And it's just weird but funny, and and I think it's just Bill Farmer, the way he delivered the line too. It's so chaotic but so funny, and I like moments like that where it ends on this rather like chuckle moment, and just yeah. But yeah, this was a fun episode. I like the clash of the old versus new tradition thing. I thought the creativity with how complex it actually was for them to get these ingredients was also interesting. And I did kind of like the lesson that they learned. Obviously, you know, old versus new. You gotta be able to you want to let go of the old traditions, but at the same time you don't want to fully rely on new traditions to get you through stuff. So it's a good thing to learn, learn from the past, learn from the present, learn for the future. Simple as that. All right, well, hope you guys enjoy that. So, all right, I'm sorry, I'm tired. I don't know why I'm doing it here. I'm just gonna, you know what, I'm just gonna end it.